You know this to be true. One of the top New Year's resolutions is always to either find the love of your life or to work harder at keeping the love of my life happy. But there is no class that we take on relationships generally, and we end up making some mistakes that we regret. Well, author George Moufarrej studies relationships, and he's joining us by Skype. He's in Pasadena. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
What is it, I guess, if there were 2 or 3 things that we need to know? I'm going to start with someone who's already in relationship to keep it from going stale.
One of the most important things that I talk about in my book, Sexual Euphoria, which was an Amazon bestseller, is that communication should be maintained between the couple. A person should assume that his partner knows, can read his mind. They should communicate on every little detail, whether it has to do with finances, children, or their love life.
You know what? I think there's some truth in that. There's something sexy or something intriguing about conversation.
That's true. It builds intimacy. It brings the couple closer together. It makes them enjoy their love life more, and it makes them bond.
I think I saw in some of your literature that in talking to people that looks isn't always the #1 thing that keeps a couple together. And when we're looking for someone, we judge by looks. But that's not what's going to keep you happy, huh?
That's true. When people get in a committed relationship like a marriage, after a while, the looks fade. And yes. And what keeps them together is the intimacy, the bond that they developed with each other because of their communication and because of their love life.
Now, George, touch. Touch is important too, isn't it? If I'm going to say goodbye, sweetie, and he's going to work, maybe touch his hand or touch his face. How important is that?
That's very important. In my book, Sexual Euphoria, I also talk about it. Usually a couple, after a while, after being in a relationship, their daily affection, like daily touching and day-to-day activities, fades. And that shouldn't be the case. They should maintain touching in their day-to-day activities, like touching each other affectionately, kissing each other affectionately in their day-to-day activities. That way there's still intimacy and the bond between them. That way they don't drift apart. Some couples, they stop showing affection to each other physically after a while, and they drift apart, and it causes the relationship to end.
Well, once it gets to that point, George, how hard is it to fight to get back? Because I knew I used to love you, but can I get there again?
Yeah, it's very possible for a couple to reignite their romantic spark, their passion that they had for each other. They just have to put in an initial effort at first, and then it becomes easy. They should just make their love life a priority, and they should make it a goal to touch each other affectionately during their day-to-day activities. Then it becomes second nature to them after 3 weeks.
Wow. And I know this is kind of an aside, but I found out that with my children, there is so much power in touch. Rather than just talking to them, to actually touch them when they come home from school. There is a lot of power in touch. Now, dating, we hear that all the time. I dated you to get you. I still need to date you to keep you, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Touching has a strong power. It causes an emotional feeling in a person, and it causes people to bond, even with your children, not just with a person that you're romantically involved with.
Yes, yes. Now, before we go, when's the last time you took your significant other on a hot date, George? Do you practice what you write?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Excellent, excellent. Let them know where they can get a copy of the book.
They can get a copy of the book on Amazon.com, and it was an Amazon bestseller, and it's available in bookstores everywhere. It's called Sexual Euphoria, a complete guide for men and women. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for being with us. Have a great year.
Thank you. Bye.